Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Coe Show. My name is Mason Coe. I'm here as always with my co-host Aaron Coe, and today, we got the NBA playoff picture. It's finally set, so that's really exciting. We'll be going over that. We'll also be going over our lock of the week, our player of the week, and our clown of the week, as we have usually done the last couple weeks. But before that, we're gonna go ahead and kind of talk about what happened in this last week. Now, our last episode actually aired yesterday because of many issues on YouTube's end. So you're getting a little back to back here with some really old news on the last one. But think about it not as us getting at the last episode very late, but you're getting back to back. So it's a good deal for you guys. Starting off, though, we got the NCAA Fall Championships canceled. I'm kind of surprised that the NCAA did this just because, it seemed like Emmert was going to try to just step away and just kind of let the conferences do their own thing. But it's kind of a big deal that he was just like, no.
Yeah, and this really applies more to not football.
Oh, okay.
So whatever the other cute sports they have, volleyball, soccer, some other sports that they have in the fall. The NCAA doesn't do much other than sort of enforce some things and put on some tournaments. However, the college football playoff, although it's sanctioned by the NCAA, isn't hosted by them technically. So that could still be on, depending on what happens with the other conferences that are still planning to play.
Yeah, interesting. I think, obviously the Pac-12 and Big Ten, MAC, they already canceled all their stuff. Ivy League too. So this isn't really anything crazy big, but it's just interesting that the NCAA would kind of step in there and really, I guess, take a firm stance as to what the plan should be. You're not going to stop the SEC from playing football, though, and I think I could see whoever comes out of that SEC, them doing some sort of impromptu scrimmage that's really the SEC championship, because down there the SEC championship is really almost just as important as the NCAA championship, genuinely, to all the SEC fans.
Yeah, I think they feel like if you win the SEC, you win the championship.
Yeah,
most years, and it's often true.
Yeah, no, it's not too far off.
And we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think the as far as the other fall championships being canceled, I guess it's surprising that they took any sort of stance, because Emmert seems to just hide, and it's embarrassing to me because he was the UW president before. So I was kind of proud when he became, when he went to that role, but he's done nothing, shown zero leadership through all of this at a time where college sports needs it more than ever.
Yeah.
He's been mostly silent.
Yeah.
But really the bigger news is the Pac-12 and the Big Ten. No,
yeah.
I still get them all mixed up.
Big Ten.
Big 8. No. Big Ten and the Pac-12 following the Big Ten into canceling or postponing football until the spring, which is huge. And now we have 40% of the Power 5 not playing football this fall.
So when Ohio State and LSU are both undefeated, and one's playing in the spring and one's playing in the fall, who's the national championship? Or who's the national champions?
Maybe we go back to the old days of when the voters decided.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think the biggest issue I have is you can't have college kids turn around in a couple months and start training camp again after a full season. So I don't know. I mean, so far the NCAA's method has just been to push it off and hope everything gets better by the time they're supposed to start playing. So they're doing that again, but the issue is when you push it back to the spring, this bleeds into next season now. Just like the NBA is going to have to figure out what they're going to do, because they're not obviously not going to start like, I think actually potentially the last finals game would be after the start of next season was supposed to be, I think, or it's right around there. So they obviously can't turn around within a week and start playing another season. It's got to be the same way with the NCAA or any league that's trying to push back their play.
And I think it's harder for football because those guys really get the shit beat out
Oh,
of them.
yeah, it's definitely harder for football, too. And then here you got just one word, myocarditis. I have no idea what that is, so you go ahead and go off.
Oh, man, there are so many layers to this, and I've gone back and forth, and ultimately I'm a fan. Fan is short for fanatic, which means I'm not always rational about these things. But here's the problem that I have. There's a moment where I thought, they're just trying to protect the athletes. There's some information that myocarditis could be an effect that some people have. So that's long-term heart issues. It can really affect a lot of big men, big football players.
That's what I think you saw a lot of the NFL guys that opted out were linemen.
Yeah. They often have enlarged hearts. Sometimes those guys drop dead when they're 40 years old.
They gotta pump real quick.
Yeah.
Real hard.
Yeah. And sometimes that's what makes them as good as they are and as big as they are.
Yeah.
They're part of it. So part of me is like, okay, and there is some unknown, like what are the long-term effects of this? And then I thought, wait, this isn't why they're doing this, because if you could tell me that if we cancel football, none of these kids are going to get coronavirus, okay, I'm on board with that, but that's not the case. How many people have died in the U.S. and in Washington without playing football?
Yeah.
There are a lot of ways that you can bump up against each other and slobber all over each other without a football in your hand. Am I correct?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
About that?
Yeah.
So, to me, this is like, what if your cousin Channer and your buddy Alex said, hey, Mason, we want to get shit-faced and have a boxing match. And then you came to me and said, Dad, this is what they want to do. Could we have this like in our yard? And part of me would be like, well, if it was in my yard, I could maybe protect those kids.
Yeah.
But then there's the bigger part of me is like, Jesus Christ, if something goes wrong with this, I'm
Can't
getting
be in
my
my
ass
yard.
sued. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have that somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this feels like to me. I'm not saying none of these people care about kids. I think some of them do a little bit. Some of them care about
There's
some
always
kids.
another motive with them, though.
Yeah,
it's
there
not
is.
just that they want the best for their athletes.
No. They don't want the liability.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's a long-term issue, they want it to be something that's not on their watch.
Yeah.
So if you go out and get COVID, there was a bunch of kids, right, that got it at the UW, frat parties and whatnot.
Yeah.
So you get it that way. That's not on my watch. I'm not getting sued for that.
Yeah.
And by me, I mean the Pac-12
right,
or the UW or whatever school. So that's their true motivation. So that really that bugs the hell out of me. I think I'll still be surprised if the Big 12 and the SEC and the ACC end up playing. I don't know. If they play and things, this is kind of the funny thing. I know there are a lot of people like, well, I hope if they play, I hope things go bad. Well, no, you don't hope that. That's like when the president you don't like gets elected, hoping that he's terrible. No,
hoping that he ruins the country.
Yeah. I'll show him ruin the country, and then I can be right. You know, that's what I'm getting some of that sense from all this. No, you want it to go very well, and then the Dogs and the Cougs and whoever else can play in the spring. If they end up going 3 weeks and shutting it down, we're not going to be playing football in the spring.
It only makes it worse if it goes wrong.
Then it's like for sure done. And I think I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised if anybody plays this fall. I think the SEC wants to. Well, fans, we tried real hard, but everybody else quit, so we didn't have nobody else to play.
Jerry Jones says he's gonna have fans in the stands.
Yeah, and that that's a whole nother discussion.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with those other conferences. They've actually followed every step of the way.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna play all our games. No, okay, well, we're gonna just do
Yeah.
conference only too. So
Right.
they're always a couple weeks behind. So we'll see what they actually do. But again, they should have just played. Here's what they should have done. This is another layer to this thing it's giving me a headache, dude.
Yeah.
So they come out with a conference only schedule, and a week later they shut it all down. A week later. So why do you bother coming up with a schedule? So a week later you shut it all down.
I just don't get why they
Nothing much changed in that week.
People keep announcing shit. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop announcing shit until you know for sure, because you're either giving false hope or you're making people worried when you don't have to yet.
I really wish. I think what they should have done from the very beginning is come out with an 8-game schedule that started basically. I think it's October 17th through December 12th. You could have run an 8-game conference only schedule. If things go what had gone, you should have announced that from the beginning.
Yeah.
That should have been the first schedule you announced. And then if things go the wrong direction, and you have to shut it down, okay, then that's what you do. But they were too aggressive with their scheduling, and then a week later, they're like, no, we can't do anything at all. What the hell is that? So if they're not going to play this fall, what's going to change by springtime? I mean, maybe there'll be a vaccine, but maybe not. So I'm very skeptical that they play.
And then there's a whole other issue of like, not everyone's going to take the vaccine. So
you're going to have and you're going to have players. You're going to have a lot. If you're getting drafted, you're probably not playing in the spring.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? And then what you said before, the spring, obviously, I'm sure it'll be a shortened version. And then you're going to give guys probably 4 months off. Maybe they push but it's going to run into the other season, like you said. They're going to push that back. So I don't know. That was a depressing day. Like, I don't let sports bug me all that much like I used to, I guess, when I was younger. But I was fucking depressed that day. I'm like, oh my God. I think we all, not that, and sports is so not important compared to a lot of things.
Right. People's
businesses and jobs and health and everything else. But I think to many of us, it's a sense of normal. So, I'll never forget kind of what I was doing when the NBA players walked off the court and the NCAA said no March Madness. And, I think we all turned to sports to kind of as a sense of normal life. And, it's tough. And I continue to be disgusted by the NCAA. And people just worried. All their worries are about liability. Don't tell me they canceled the fucking season because they're concerned about the athletes. It's just not, in my opinion, not true. I think those kids are safer if you put them under the care of their coaches, and they have to look at each other and say, motherfucker, don't go to this party because we got a game on Saturday and you can't be getting sick and getting the rest of us sick. Now, what's the motivation? The coaches are still going to talk to them. Parents and coaches talk to kids all the time, right?
Yeah.
Like how many times have you not listened to me?
Yeah.
Asshole, right? So they're not gonna listen to these coaches because they don't have a game to play. They have no reason to listen, and they think they're invincible. So anyway, I'm sorry for the rant, but this pisses me off. They're doing it for the wrong reasons again.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, I've kind of I'm very down on the NCAA. I have been for the last couple of years. And it's sad when you can really pretty obviously break down everything they do to covering their shit, making their money. It's really disappointing.
I hate it because college football is my favorite thing. Like Washington Huskies football is my favorite sport and one of my very favorite things in life. Mm-hmm. To be, whether that's warped or not, you people can decide. But so to know that they're run by an organization that's there's so many words you could use to describe them.
Yeah.
Anyway. Disgusted.
Yeah, I think I heard this on Pardon My Take, maybe not 100% podcast. When shit's going crazy in life, like for like you personally, They said football, but really you can use any sport is like the only like normal thing.
Hell,
That's
it could
the only
be any activity. It could be going to the fucking opera,
it's
whatever.
the only it's the only like for us specifically.
Yeah.
Like turning on the game, that's like the like that will that's the constant. That will always be there. And then for the last 6 months or whatever, it hasn't been. And apparently for the next 6 months, it's going to be either not there still or at a very limited capacity and not what we're used to. And it's like, what's fall without college football? Damn. Yeah, all right, let's move on from this.
One more, I was thinking, too, about, like, father-son relationship, right?
Yeah.
Like, we've always gotten along pretty well, but we've had our moments.
Yeah.
But one thing that always, no matter what was going on, no matter how much you hated me or or I was pissed at you, when the game came on, we could put all that aside.
Yeah, and especially like going to a game, going to a UW game. Yeah, all right. Let's all right, scoot forward.
Fucking NCAA.
Yeah. All right, man. Also, fuck the Seahawks. Everson Griffin, we just let him go to the Cowboys for $6 million. Like that's the piece that helped. That's our Super Bowl winning piece. That is our Super Bowl winning piece. Like, okay, Jesus, I'm sorry about that. That's our Super Bowl piece. That's what we need. An elite pass for $6 million. We're paying fucking Bruce Irvin more.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I don't. Obviously, I know that there was he was talking to the Seahawks. He was talking to the Vikings. I think both teams were kind of in the $4 million range.
Why? We should have been in the $10 million range. What are we doing?
Especially for a 1-year deal. Like
makes no sense.
If we're talking multi-year, I get it. But when it's a 1-year deal, write the check.
Yeah.
I think they tried to get too cute with it. I think they tried to wait it out, and sometimes that's worked for them. It may still work with Clowney. I don't know. But no, I don't get it. It sounds like the Cowboys swooped in out of nowhere, and went way up, above and beyond, and maybe he didn't give him a chance to match or
at
whatever.
$6 million, I don't know how that's above and how can we let that be above and beyond? What are we going to use this $15 million for? What are we doing with it now?
I don't know.
Give him $15,096,740. That's how much cap we have. Give him that for 1 year. He's legitimately worth that for one season. In a season where we're trying to win the Super Bowl this season, clearly.
I would have happily given him 8,
Yeah.
Some people are saying, well, maybe he is going to be 33 years old. I mean, he may be a little long in the tooth.
1 year.
But yeah, 1 year it doesn't hurt you that bad unless I don't know what else could be in the works again unless Clowney. Clowney's still out there.
Yeah,
Clowney's a better all around football player than Everson Griffin, but Everson Griffin is better at sacking the quarterback than Clowney ever has been.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll recruited Everson Griffin to USC, so he knows
didn't know
him.
that.
Yeah, he knows him.
God, it just makes too much. It made too much sense, I guess.
I was.
It's too easy
surprised.
of a decision.
Yeah, so I don't know. The Seahawks are often part of Pete's personality is he's very optimistic. So he watches his guys. And he's like, I think this guy's gonna be. These young guys are really coming along. I think they're gonna be great.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes he's too secure in his younger players.
Yeah.
And it's like he believes in them until the day he doesn't. So whoever the hell the starting safety was last year that started the season made one of the worst plays that I've seen a safety make in the history of football.
Against the
Bengals.
God damn it, we dropped him. Tedrick Thompson.
So he goes from starter to the guy can't even. I think he finally did sign with someone, but he goes from starter to cut. So that's how Pete is. He really believes in his guys, and that's part of why they play hard for him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But it also keeps them maybe from sometimes moving on from guys before the season starts when they probably should.
Oh, he's on the Chiefs now.
Yeah, very disappointing. We'll see if Tedrick's still on there when the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. He was dog shit. So I don't miss him, and it's like we have Quandre, Marquise, and obviously Jamal Adams. So yeah.
So as long as the secondary can give the defensive line like 9-10 seconds to get to the quarterback, we should be fine.
Yeah. All right. So last week, or AKA yesterday, we talked about Dame Lillard missing some clutch free throws and falling to the Clippers, potentially costing him a spot in the playoffs. Well, good news. Dame bounced back, to say the least, scoring 51, 61, 42, and then yesterday against the Grizzlies, 31 to carry Portland to the playoffs. He also had his assist numbers were great, and his percentages were amazing too. So needless to say, he bounced back. I just wanted to throw that in there because Dame's my favorite point guard right now, and I knew this was gonna happen. I think everyone on NBA Twitter knew this was gonna happen. Pat Bev, apparently Paul George hit up Dame after the Instagram shit, and they worked it out. And so Paul George realized he fucked up.
That's so new millennium.
Yeah, I know. Paul George was like, "Oh my god." Paul George was like, "Oh my god, Dame's."
No, they need to hate each other till the grave.
I know, dude. It pisses me off. I think him and Pat Bev will, at least. Okay. So that's good. Probably him and Russ definitely will. Him and Russ will never like each other. Yeah. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And
he scored 31 in that last game, but he had 31 early in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And then other guys finally started hitting shots.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have to, like, he will be the guy, but if other guys are bringing it.
Well, CJ McCollum,
yeah,
he ended with 29, and I think Dame was going into that quarter with 31, and he was going into that quarter with like 19 or something.
Yeah, he hit a couple of big shots. For sure.
And you could see Dame had 10 assists.
Yeah.
So he's providing buckets too. So good for him. Obviously, he faces the Lakers. We'll make our playoff predictions later on. A team that didn't make the playoffs, the Suns. Devin Booker averaged like 35 points per game in the bubble or some ridiculous shit, and the Suns went 8-0. Lowever, unfortunately, the Grizzlies were just too far ahead of him to start off. The Grizzlies have not played well, and I mean, they lost. They played really well in that first playing game. They obviously had to win 2 in a row, and the Blazers took care of them in the first one, which no one was surprised about. But just shout out to the Suns, man. Like, it sucks. It sucks that they couldn't get their chance in the play-in. A Devin Booker versus Dame Lillard play-in would have been electric.
That would have been fun to watch. Yeah.
All right, and I guess moving forward from that, we've got one of the. I haven't gotten an update on this yet, so I'm hoping he's doing all right. Daniel Cormier. So I did not end up watching this fight. Stipe Miocic versus Daniel Cormier, and of course, in normal UFC fashion, there couldn't just be a clear cut winner. There was a decision made that some people disagreed with. Miocic won, and as you can see, there was an eye poke here. This was called a punch. There was no stoppage.
Oh, Jesus
Usually
Christ.
when you get poked in the eye in the UFC, you get as much time as you want to recover.
So if you're listening to this and not seeing it, this dude has a freaking
finger
hand in his
eye
socket.
Yeah, a finger like touching his brain. Like it's in his eye.
Yeah.
And in another picture, you can see Daniel Cormier's left eye is messed up. This really sucks because this was his last fight, probably no matter what, and he's like a commentator, so he has to be on camera and stuff. I hope everything's okay, but in this interview where the screenshot comes from, I think he was talking to Rogan, and Rogan was like, "How's your eye?" He's like, I can't see out of my left eye. And Rogan's like, "You can't see?" And he was like, no, it can't see at all. He's like, "It's black in your left eye." He's like, "Yeah, it's black, but it's okay. It doesn't matter." He was just like, he's like, "It's okay though. It doesn't matter."
Oh, I hope they can fix it.
Yeah, and apparently the ref told Cormier after he saw the replay, he was like, "I'm sorry, I should have stopped it." Which obviously, I mean, it's it's pretty clear. But yeah, congrats to Stipe Miocic though. I have not checked very many of the opinions on this, and there's some other interesting things I saw about the card, but I I haven't seen enough of it. There's Sugar Sean O'Malley, the guy with the rainbow afro or the rainbow cornrows.
Yeah.
He got his hair dyed in the colors of the Colombian flag, so it was like blue, yellow, and red. And the guy he was facing was Colombian, and Sean O'Malley's Irish, so like he was just doing it to mess with the other guy. And I don't know. Hold on, let me just look this up. So Sean O'Malley, I don't know what happened, but he like injured his leg, and they called off the fight, kind of like in the first round.
Oh.
Basically, it was like the weirdest thing. He like stepped forward in the ring, and basically his ankle just kind of buckled. Sean O'Malley.
It's crazy the number of injuries, catastrophic injuries that happen on just seemingly normal, like the NBA players that compound fracture their legs when they like land after making a layup.
Yeah.
Because they land like slightly, and then you're like, how did they not break their leg every time?
Seriously. Dana. Oh my God, Joe's interviewing him on the ground.
Oh jeez.
So he got carried off on a stretcher, and people were saying he didn't have to. I don't know. I was confused about the whole thing. I'm not gonna talk about it anymore, just because I don't know what happened, and I can't really give a full fleshed out opinion. But
he doesn't look too happy on the stretcher.
No, he doesn't. I'm not saying he's like a pussy. There were some people saying that on the internet, which of course they will. But fuck Howard Schultz.
Fuck Howard Schultz.
Yeah. All right, we got our weekly Mariners update. Mariners suck. So yeah, there we go.
So do you want a little more on that?
Yeah. Talk. Yeah. Also, by the way, the Astros suck. Jose Altuve's batting 157. Yeah. They're like 9-10 or something. So I mean, the nature is healing. It's everything's going well.
They won on a walk-off today over the Mariners, but.
We don't. I didn't hear about that. You didn't have to tell me. I could have just gone my whole life not knowing about that.
I was watching it. I don't know why. I don't know why I watch these things. So obviously with the Mariners, we're like, I'm looking for who can I see as a player on a World Series contending team in a couple of years. This is what I've been doing for the last 20 years, by the way.
Yeah.
Last 50 years. But I'm looking at some. I see a few guys. Like I think Kyle Lewis is going to be a real nice player. I think J.P. Crawford can be an above average shortstop. I think he can help you on a really good team. They have a couple. Their starters, I'm not that excited about their starters. I like our number one air quotes number one starter. Marco Polo or whatever the fuck his name is.
Marco Gonzalez.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. He's like, I think he's a number 3 starter on a really good team.
Yeah.
And I like his attitude. I think he's he's got kind of a bulldog mentality. But I don't know, some of their other guys, I know that oh god, they're big. I'm sorry, I'm not done. But there's the other pitcher that they have. Sheffield, yeah, thank you. Sheffield he's kind of up and down. He's had a couple of nice outings. He's like any other pitcher. If he hits his spots, he's pretty solid. Yeah. To me, he's like a number 4 or a reliever. Right. I think Dunn is kind of... All these guys are just guys. Yeah. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that they end up being, aces, but I don't really see it. So I just see a couple of players... Are they ruining Evan White's career by having him bat 100? If he's even batting 100, I'm not sure. Are they ruining him? He's he may be the best defensive first baseman in baseball, but man, the guy has no clue at the plate.
It's hard to say because I think I would hope that if they just kind of got into his head and were like, this season really doesn't matter, and it really doesn't matter how you do. Just try to...
As an athlete, do you believe that, though?
I mean, well, I guess it kind of, it depends on a lot of different things. Like, I don't know what the vibe is like in the clubhouse. I don't know what the vibe is like from, Service and Dipoto. I don't know how they're talking to him or anything.
As a competitor, you expect to do well, and if you don't do well, you're not going to just go up there like, who gives a fuck? You can't, you can't go up there like, who gives a fuck, but what you can do is tell him that
this season, nothing is contingent on how good you do this season.
Right.
Like
you're safe. You're
Yeah.
staying here.
We paid you money for a reason. We believe in
We have
you.
nobody else.
Just relax.
play.
Like we're willing to take the slow route with you. We don't
Yeah.
need you to be good. And it. At the end of the day, they could say that all they want, and maybe Evan White doesn't truly believe that in his heart of hearts, and it messes him up. But I think there is a way you can do this, especially with this season being the COVID season. It's hard to say that. I mean, it's impossible to say until a couple of years down the road.
The thing that sucks is I really wish baseball would have kept AAA going.
Yeah, definitely.
Or at least done a little bit of it, because Evan White needs to go down to AAA and work on some things, but he can't. There's nowhere to send him. You're gonna send him back to camp and have him bat against Mariners pitchers who aren't good enough to be on the Mariners, and most of them probably never will be. Like, that's not gonna help anything.
No.
So you got nowhere to send him, so you just have to have him sit there and eat it. And anyway, we'll see. I hope he figures it out. But man, he's got a long way to go. Long way to go. And right now I just I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever see him hit. We'll find out, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Let's move into our segments for this week. We got all right. Let's start off with our lock of the week. So what do you have as your lock of the week? For this, by the way, the lock of the week will be essentially, it can be kind of anything, but just a guarantee you have for this week.
So I'm, locks are, Vegas, right?
Yeah.
They often, so can I use point spread? Do I get
like,
points?
My idea for lock of the week is you can do any prediction. Like, it can be a Vegas prediction. It can be anything, any prediction for this week.
Okay.
Sports wise.
Easy. This is so easy.
All right. Yeah.
Now. Lakers -5.5 points. They have give me the Blazers and the points. There's no way the Lakers are winning that game by 5.5 points.
All right.
I would take them straight up in Vegas.
Whoa.
And take the money line.
Oh my God, you crazy bastard.
The Blazers are hot.
They're
crazy. Tuned up.
Okay,
they're
Chuck.
Up.
All right, Charles Barkley. Jesus Christ.
And the Lakers have been cold.
You're right, but the Lakers
we'll
had
see if they
LeBron got one rebound in his last game. Do you think he was trying? Do you think LeBron was trying in that game?
It back on. It's hard to turn
for
it back
LeBron
on.
Fucking James. Do you think it's hard to turn it back on?
Anybody.
All right, man.
He can't win it by himself either. Somebody else has
got to do good thing he's got another top 5 player in the NBA, Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
So,
We'll see.
All right.
Lillard's ready to go.
I had a different lock of the week, but I'm going to go with this one. I think the Lakers, next time we record, they should have played 3 games. The Lakers are going to be 3-0 by the time. Lakers will be 3-0 by the time we record next.
Chance.
Or they will sweep if we record after that. My lock of the week is the Lakers not losing to the Blazers this week.
My lock of the week neek week might be Portland winning the first round.
It could be, but it won't.
I was gonna call that, but it's not. It wouldn't happen this week. It would happen next week.
Wow.
So I'll just call it next week.
All right.
When it's 2-1.
All right, Skip. Jesus Christ, this dude's going off the rails.
Dame time, baby. What time is it? What does my watch say? It says Dame time.
All right. Who do you got for player of the week? So this is going to be our prediction for player of the week. And it doesn't have to be, I'll specify, it doesn't have to be like who's going to score the most points per game, who's going to have the best stats, or who's going to lead their team to the best record this week. I'm thinking more like not most improved, but like who's going to play the best above their own game this week in your who do you think will be? You know what I mean? So if you pick Dame, it would have to be like it would probably have to be like he beats the Lakers at least once, and he's probably scoring like 40 a game.
Wait, let's see. What time is it? It's Dame time, baby.
I knew it. I didn't. We didn't talk about what our players of the week were going to be before, and I fucking knew it. All right.
Yep. Dame time.
I almost want to go LeBron James now just because of that, but no, my player of the week is going to be Kemba Walker. I think
That's a good
Kemba
one.
Walker's
That's a
going to
good
go
one.
off.
I
Ben
like
Simmons.
Kemba Walker.
Yeah, Ben Simmons is out. Ben Simmons probably wouldn't have guarded him anyway, but do you want to know the names of the starting and backup point guard for? And actually, we'll go third string too. Do you want to know the names for the Sixers? We got Shake Milton, who's a shooting guard.
Shake.
The shooting guard is their starting point guard.
Is he related to Snacks Harrison, who the Seahawks might sign?
No.
No. Okay.
Because they don't have the same last name.
Could be cousins.
Yeah. And then their backup Alec Burks, who is also a shooting guard.
Alec Burks. I've never heard of it.
The only point guard on their roster is Raul Nato.
Raul Nato?
Yeah. So I'm taking Kemba Walker scoring he's gonna, because Jason Tatum's the I don't know if he's actually I'm pretty sure he's the leading scorer on that team. If not, he's supposed to be. I think you're gonna see Kemba Walker be the leading scorer of the Celtics, and they're gonna lead. I almost want to say they're gonna sweep the Sixers. I'm not gonna say that because I think Joel Embiid's probably gonna have one of his 40 and 20 games where he just carries them, but he's not going to do it consistently enough. I'm taking the Celtics. I'm taking them in 5 games, I think. And I think Kemba's going to average 30, 10, and 5 or something crazy. I think he's
been
going to
a
go
disappointment when they're healthy. So
yeah.
when they don't have a point guard, yeah, they're not beating anybody.
No.
Be lucky to go 5 games.
Yeah, so I don't think there's anyone on that team that can guard Kemba.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and take him.
You remember I told you I thought Kemba would be better than that flat earther,
Kyrie?
The Celtic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I said he'll be better. He'll be a better fit for the Celtics than Kyrie ever was.
I wasn't fully all in on that. Well, I was all in that he'd be a better fit. I was not all in that he was going to make them a better team. I think actually I did predict that they were going to have a better record with Kyrie. But I wish I would have held that take a little stronger because obviously they are better. Yeah. So let's move forward into our clown of the week. Do you want to go first? Or?
Oh my gosh. Okay. No,
This is a pretty great story. Here I got the story right here. This is pretty incredible. Yeah, his name right here.
Kema Siverand.
Yeah, Kema Siverand.
So
from Oklahoma State.
I picked him as the clown of the week. By the way, the Howard Schultz clown of the week in honor of the biggest clown of all time, right?
Yeah.
It's the Howard Schultz clown of the week.
Yeah.
Because
I forgot. Schultz. It's the name of the segment. Yeah. The Howard Schultz.
Yeah.
Clown of the week.
Yeah, because fuck Howard Schultz. Always fuck Howard Schultz.
Right. Yeah. Fuck him. Yeah.
That's one thing we will never disagree on.
Yeah.
Okay. So. If you're looking at it right now, he disguised a woman in Seahawks apparel in order to get her into the team hotel. The team uncovered the plot on video and cut Siverand, report says.
They cut him right away, too. It was like, yeah, dude, you're undrafted rookie.
Yeah, this Jimmy Johnson cut a player who fell asleep in a meeting one time. It's very easy to do this to a player that. Yeah, there was a conspiracy theory going around that this guy doesn't even really exist. That Pete just used him as a lesson, to other people. But then I'm thinking, I was wrong. I just want to apologize to Kema for calling him the clown of the week. This dude is smart.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not gonna make the team. How long am I gonna be in this hotel? So I'm not gonna make the team. But there is this one girl that I like a lot. Yeah. And next week I'm not going to have a shot with her, but I might have a shot with her in the Seahawks team hotel. Yeah. Let's make this move. Yep. So, you know what? I guess I don't have a clown of the week because this guy, I like the cut of his jib, young man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, right. But no, it's obviously he'll, whatever chance he had is gone. But yeah, I think if sad. Bobby Wagner had he's probably married, but whatever. Yeah, no. Tried to sneak his wife in there. He's probably not cut. No. If Troy Aikman had fallen asleep, Jimmy Johnson would have gotten him a pillow. Yeah. It's a very different thing, but ultimately, I think it's a good lesson. it is a good lesson because players are like, okay, this is serious. It's a reminder, that you got to take this stuff seriously.
It's kind of sad on one hand, because you feel like this kid lost an opportunity that he might not get again. But
no,
also,
he will never get it again.
Also, it's like he did it to himself, and if you just look at the odds, chances are he wouldn't have made the team.
Yeah, he had no chance to make the team. Yeah,
so I'm gonna go ahead and move on to my clown of the week, and it's gonna be Aaron Coe. No, it's gonna be. Sorry, I pronounced the name wrong. Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley picked the Blazers. Charles Barkley picked the Blazers to win the NBA Finals.
Genius.
I know we kind of talked about him. He said he would beat the Lakers before, but he genuinely, that was his finals pick. Like yesterday or the day before. What were the Blazers?
That's terrible.
That's terrible. Yeah, so he's got an 8 seed win in the finals. If any 8 seed could do it, it's probably the Blazers, but
they're dangerous.
They're dangerous.
Oh.
All right, I'll stop. All right. Let's move on to our playoff picks, I guess.
All right.
To end off the show here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pick our first round picks and then also make our finals picks. And anything we disagree on, we're going to bet how much money per disagreement.
I don't know. You pick.
$3?
$3.
All right. So every time we disagree on a playoff pick, we're going to have a $3 bet on it. And then, yeah, obviously whoever wins the series, they will get their $3. There shouldn't be too many disagreements.
Probably not, especially on the East.
Yeah, the East is kind of easy.
East
so
feels very chalky to me. I just don't see a whole lot of upsets happening.
Yeah. So okay, we'll start off. We'll just start off easy. Bucks are sweeping the Magic, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we got Bucks over the Magic. Toronto over Brooklyn.
Yes.
And then Celtics over Sixers?
Yes.
Okay. And
those will all be maybe not sweeps.
I don't think they're going
games.
to 6.
They're not
Yeah.
going to 6 games.
I don't think they're going to 6, any of those. All right. Now this is where it gets interesting. Indiana versus Miami. I'm really excited for this series for a couple of different reasons. Obviously, to me, these teams are kind of rivals in a way. Just because when I started to really kind of get into basketball a little, LeBron was on the Heat and
not 1, not 2, not 3 back then.
Yeah, back then. Yeah. And Paul George was on the Pacers. So this was kind of like a rivalry for 4 years there. And that was right kind of at the beginning of my basketball fandom. So for some reason I view these as rivals, even though they're probably not. But there is a rivalry in TJ Warren and Jimmy Butler. They fucking hate each other, and they go at each other's throats every game, and I love it. So I'll be in the East. This is the series I'm watching. I'll watch Boston and Philly too. I'm not watching Bucks Magic, honestly. So yeah, I'm taking the Heat though. I'm taking the Heat.
Actually, I am too. Yeah, I was hoping you would take the Pacers. So we're both predicting. I guess seed wise a minor upset 4 versus 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think Indiana's missing a player. I don't know. I don't remember who it is. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I'm going Heat there.
All right, moving over to the West, we got Lakers versus Blazers. I'm taking the Lakers in 4.
Hold on, let me check my watch.
Jesus fucking, you're not doing it. You're
don't.
It's
Dame time, baby.
Don't. All right, $3.
Can you imagine?
It's the easiest $3 I've ever made in my life.
Imagine? See, you're not just gonna lose $3. You're gonna lose.
Easiest.
You're never. The GOAT argument's gonna be over.
Easiest $3 I ever made in my fucking life.
It is over.
LeBron's averaging 70 and 30. He's gonna. Yeah, it's gonna be so easy. It's gonna be so easy for him. It's gonna be so easy for LeBron. It's insane. All right, number 2 seed matchup. We got Clippers versus Dallas. I want to pick Dallas so bad, but they're just so goddamn awful at defense that I just can't. The Clippers are gonna get stops, and Dallas won't.
I wish Portland was playing Dallas.
Yeah, I do too, because that would actually be like straight up a good series.
It might be, first team to 200
Yeah, yeah.
There's just no defense whatsoever. But anyway, yeah, I gotta go Clips. The bottom line is that they've still got the Finals MVP on their team, and
Yeah.
I think he's gonna.
And
be
they're so
ready to
deep.
go.
They're getting Montrez back for their first
Yeah.
game, I think, and Lou Will. So it's just, it's just really tough to pick the Mavericks
and I
there.
think there's gonna be some attrition. We're already starting to see some attrition.
Yeah.
But and this is with some teams babying their players. Teams that were locked in were able to rest guys or play them fewer minutes. You might see some significant injuries here as guys suddenly start going from 32 minutes to 42 minutes.
Yeah. Which sucks,
probably
man.
Probably playing a little harder.
It sucks, dude. I really, really, really hope that COVID or injuries don't really determine any series.
Yeah,
Which
I don't think they've
would.
done a great job with COVID, but they, injuries are going to happen. I think.
Yeah.
See. I hope I'm wrong.
All right. The 3 seed matchup, we got Denver versus Utah. Who you got?
I gotta go Denver.
God damn it, man.
Hate to stick with the easy picks, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Utah, they got Bojan Bogdanovic out, and he is way more important to that team than people realize. He's one of their best scorers. Denver, not only do they have Skinny Jokic and Jamal Murray, but Michael Porter Jr. has been going off.
That's the guy that's missing, not the Indiana player. There's not an Indiana player injured.
Oh, wait, Michael Porter Jr. is?
No. There's earlier I said, there's an Indiana player injured.
Oh,
no, I was wrong.
Jazz.
It was a Pacers
Jazz.
guy.
No,
It's a Utah Jazz guy.
Yeah.
Whatever. Keep going. Just move along.
Yeah. So he's vital to that offense.
Yeah.
And Denver, they got their regular boys plus Michael Porter Jr., who when they picked him, I was like, oh, fuck. Like, they're going to win a championship with him. Unless I could see them trading him for a big piece next year or something.
Right.
But, and then they also got Gary Harris, he's been really, really disappointing this season. But he's still a pretty good defender, and they got Will Barton. I think both of them are coming back, so it's just, man, it's just I think this is a good matchup, and I think it's probably gonna go to 6 at least.
Yeah.
But I can't take Utah. I just can't. Yeah. So all right. It looks like last up we got the Rockets versus the Thunder. Who you got? And this isn't who you want to win.
Fuck Howard Schultz.
Yeah, well, yeah, fuck him.
Fuck Howard Schultz.
This isn't who we want to win, though.
Fuck OKC.
It's not who we want to win.
Houston's gonna sweep him.
Yeah?
Yeah, fuck
Wow.
Howard Schultz.
All right.
That's my analysis. Fuck Howard Schultz.
I think I would have normally picked the Rockets, but we need to disagree again. So I'm just gonna go with the Thunder here because I do think that they could win the series.
Yeah, they can.
I really do kind of think the Rockets are.
I hate both of these teams.
I really don't like either of these teams. What's funny is when I saw this matchup, I was like, I don't want the Rockets to win. But then I was like, oh my god, wait, they're playing OKC.
Yeah.
I genuinely probably think that the Rockets are going to win, but I'm taking OKC.
This is like Oregon playing USC.
All right, so we're betting $6. This is exhilarating. Yeah. All right, so just to clear up, for you, your second round is looking like Lakers, Rockets, and Denver versus Clippers. Which, by the way, those are some good series.
Yeah.
I love that. And then your Eastern Conference is the same as mine, which is Milwaukee versus Miami, which I like that series, and Boston versus Toronto, which I love that series.
That's going to be a great series.
That will be a fantastic series. And then for me, my West side is looking like Lakers versus OKC, and then Denver versus Clippers also. So, yeah. Who you got in the finals? Don't make me make you the stooge of the week. Actually, like,
I think so. Dame time is gonna happen. And they're gonna beat the Lakers, but I think they're gonna run out of gas.
Yeah.
If not in the next round in the conference finals. So
keep in mind they did make it to the conference finals last year.
Yeah, they could
People
definitely...
forget they were in the conference finals last year, and they went to 7. I think they went to 7. I think they did.
I would love to see them play the Clippers in the conference finals.
That would be. I would love that.
Well, I know you want the Lakers.
The Battle of LA would just be better, though.
Yeah,
it just
LA.
would be. It just would be.
I don't care. I don't care about the Subway Series in baseball. I don't care about Battle of LA. A bunch of soft. The softest city in the world. Who cares? Angels, Dodgers. Who cares? So no, that would either way would be fun. I mean, I would love to see that series too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got the Clippers in the finals, and then who do you have? While I figure out
from the West side, I got Lakers. I got Lakers on the West side. I think by the time the conference finals comes around, they will have figured all their shit out. And I think, obviously they can't face the Clippers until then. So I don't think any other team. You got to consider Portland has to beat the Lakers 4 out of 7 games. Yeah. Do you realize that it's 4 out of 7?
There's Dame time every day. Just like the clock.
Dame time. It reaches Dame time twice a day. Yeah. Just hope it's just during that time.
Off. Oh, Dame time again.
Yeah, just hope the Lakers are playing during that. During that spot.
Yeah. They better not move the game times around.
So yeah, I got Lakers, and then East side I got Bucks. It's just, I kind of want to take the Celtics just to be a little, what's the word? Against the grain or whatever, but I'm gonna take the Bucks.
Yeah, I think
I'm being boring, but
when I make picks, obviously if you pick the number 1 seeds every year, you're probably gonna have better picks.
I genuinely believe this though. Yeah. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's probably the smart way to go, and then it's always more fun to when you fill out an NCAA bracket to pick upsets. I am gonna pick Boston, but it's not because I want to be different or I want to see an upset. I have real concerns about the Bucks being able to hit shots.
Okay.
On a consistent basis.
I could fully see them. The problem is, do you think they're gonna struggle for a 7-game series throughout essentially a full week and a half? Do you think they're not gonna be able to shoot the ball?
I think enough, yeah, and I think Boston's just a really good, deep and balanced team.
Yeah, I could defend. I want to pick them, and I think they would go to 6 or 7, but I think I fully I could see that.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised either way, and I think Milwaukee is really good, but man, the Greek Freak just looks lost on his outside shot.
Dude, yeah, especially the game that we watched, he airballed a free throw and then came down the court and airballed a 3 a minute later.
Yeah,
which just looks
so
bad.
He's gonna need other people to hit shots to free him.
Oh yeah, that's no doubt. That's no doubt.
So it's not gonna even come down to how he's gonna get his points.
He will. He's gonna average 30 and 10. He'll average 30 and 10
points, but it's gonna come down to are there enough guys on the Bucks that
George
can hit
Hill
outside shots?
Can George Hill remain the highest percentage shooter in the NBA?
Right.
Can Chris Middleton, who sucked absolute dog dick during the playoffs last year, he's supposed to be an all-star. He's supposed to be their second star. Can he be their second star? I think that's really the question that you're gonna have to ask.
Marks.
Yeah, so I could fully see, especially
Celtics have the defenders to slow those guys down.
They do. Yeah, the Celtics got some guys on defense. It's I could see that series really going either way. I just don't think Giannis is gonna let his team lose that. I just don't think so. But yeah. All right, well, I guess that's kind of it. Only 53 minutes on the episode today. Slightly short, but not too bad. We're looking forward to this week. This is obviously huge. Finally, we got playoff basketball back, man. I'm so excited for this. I'm gonna be all over it. And
what are the Sonics gonna do? Oh, then fuck the NBA. The fuck
Sonics,
Howard Schultz.
Yeah, Sonics don't exist yet. By the way, I watched a little bit of playoff hockey. I still haven't watched as much as I said I was going to, but I watched a little bit of playoff hockey. 5 overtime games are pretty electric. Went for
Wow.
7 hours. Luckily, I didn't. I turned it on 4 overtime, so I did not watch all 7 hours of that hockey game. Playoff hockey's pretty electric. It's pretty fun to watch.
Yeah.
I just need to get into it more. I really think when I start learning names and it's easier. I even found it a little bit easier to follow the puck after watching like 2 games. I was getting there a little bit. It gets hard when it gets towards the goal,
Right.
which is really when it matters, when guys are the puck's just bouncing around like a pinball everywhere. So, but I genuinely, I think I could get into hockey. I think hockey's a sport.
I think you get to where you kind of anticipate where it's going to go, and then you find it easier,
Yeah.
the more skilled you get.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I think I'm going to like it too. I think it's probably going to take me having a team to follow, and the Kraken's
Yeah.
probably going to pull me in. I think hockey's a fun game. We've gone to a couple.
It's for sure fun to go to. And I'm buying a sweater right away.
There you go.
Buying a little hockey sweater.
Yeah, so it'll be fun. I should try to watch a little bit of it just to kind of get a
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's at the
coming.
very least the energy is high and people
Yeah.
are running into each other. So it's
Yep.
at the very least it's a very good thing to just have on in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah. So other than that though, you got anything else?
I got nothing.
All right. At Mason Charles Coe on Twitter, at AaronCo29. We got his book. The ebook is on Amazon, hardcover on Lulu.com. If you're watching this still, thank you very much. Don't know why. You're dope though. We're gonna keep pushing forward. Keep watching sports, because that's just what we do. That's all we know really how to do at the end of the day. Is watch sports and formulate our shitty opinions. Thank you guys. Peace.
See ya.